Kamaru Usman versus Jorge Masvidal 2. How do you see this playing out?
Well, I see Jorge coming out. You know what? Let's go back in time. Let's go back to the first
Cool.
card. To the first fight.
Yeah.
Let's think. It was Jorge coming in on 6 days' notice, and Usman had a full training camp. Bear in mind, it wasn't a full training camp for Jorge, but it was a full training camp. He was in peak fighting condition.
Yep.
We do need to see how they went and fought each other with this in mind. Now, Usman, I feel as though he felt unsafe about this change, and that showed in his fighting style. Jorge was right. He was hugged against the cage for most of the fight. There was no ill intent, but I don't think that's because Usman isn't a spiteful fighter. I feel as though he didn't need to make those risks in the firefights and exchanges in attempts to hurt Jorge. He didn't need to hurt Jorge to win. Now, of course, as promo, Jorge needs to say what he needs to say, but on Jorge's side, he came out guns a-blazing. He had nothing really to lose. But I feel as though this time we're going to see a more measured Jorge Masvidal. Think of it as Francis Ngannou versus Stipe Miocic in the welterweight division. Jorge is a gifted striker. Usman is a gifted wrestler. To beat Jorge, all he really had to do was be smart and use his wrestling. This time, if Jorge focuses on a takedown defense, which he didn't do in the last fight, he focused solely on striking and got taken down with ease. If he focuses on takedown defense in the second go around and then turn that takedown defense into striking, we could see a different fight. But I'm putting my money on Usman again. How do you not?
Exactly. Like, the first fight proved how dominant Kamaru can be. And even though it might not have been the most exciting, I agree with you 100% that in that first fight, we saw that Usman thought, this is a dangerous fight. Like, Jorge has the potential to knock him out. He does. He's just a more diverse striker. On the feet, he just has more tools in his arsenal. And that was dangerous. And we've seen Usman get clipped before. You know, his fight against Gilbert Burns, it was a dominant fight, but to begin with, he was rocked.
He was clipped.
Exactly, by Gilbert. So I think in that fight, he took on the approach that he just needed to get the win. Regardless of how people may perceive it, he needed the win no matter what. And he shut Jorge down. There was nothing that Jorge could do. He got taken down. He got pinned against the fence, the foot stomps, everything. But in this fight, it's different because Usman is the one who called Jorge out. After the Gilbert fight, he stepped on the mic and said he wants Jorge. He wants to give Jorge a full camp. To me, that shows Usman is confident. Usman wants to prove himself, to showcase that he's an elite champion, to showcase that he can finish a guy like Jorge. Because I think one thing that Usman must have felt in that fight is, yeah, it was a dangerous fight, but I had a way with this guy. I controlled this guy. This guy had nothing for me. You know, as much as Jorge felt Kamaru Usman's strength, Usman also felt how he could just take control and dominate and shut down Jorge Masvidal. And I think in this fight, he's going to come in there with bad intentions. And I got to go with Usman, man. I feel like this is going to be a stellar performance from the champ. If Jorge doesn't, come out with a flying knee, I think his best chances are in the first, second round. If Kamaru Usman is able to take it to deep waters or extend the fight past the second round, Usman is coming out there and he's beating Jorge. He's going to finish him. That's what I feel. But
how do you feel
moving on, I think he's either going to be some ground and pound, some brutal ground and pound, or submission.
Okay.
Maybe a DOS choke. I feel like that. I'm putting all the chips on Usman, but you can't. I mean, there's no way you can't because he's proven himself already. And this feels like Usman's time to really cement himself in front of fans. If he can get a win against Jorge, yeah, it'll be impressive.